Yo, what's up? I'm back with another ranking video. I'm ranking the top 100 albums right now. It's not the top 200. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna be there eventually, probably past New Year's, because I got a bunch of other videos I want to make first. I'm gonna make the top 50 best hit songs of the year, or not of the year, top 50 best hit songs of the past 5 years. That's gonna be cool. Then the top 50 albums of the past 5 years, and then the top 50 best songs of the past 5 years. But before that, I managed to get 100 albums, so that's cool. Also, I'm gonna be speeding through these pretty fast because realistically, most of you haven't even listened to 90% of these. So if you have anything you want to yell at me at, just call me mean names in the comments. I'll respond you there. But okay, at the bottom, I haven't listened to Hamilton because I don't want to. 1 out of 10, very bottom is Benson Boone. He is such a bad singer. I don't like him. Or I don't know. I don't mind listening to him. That's why it's not just a flat out zero, but still, this is some of the least competent pop music of the year. Moving up to the 2 out of 10s, they don't even exist, which is cool. So let's go into the 3 out of 10s. Drake's Certified Lover Boy is somehow all the way down here, uh, which is interesting. There's not a lot of flat out trash, which is good because it made this a lot more enjoyable for me to check out albums. But yeah, this Certified Lover Boy, I'm pretty sure we all agreed it was a dud. But my turn is a bit more controversial. I just don't think Lil Baby had any ounce of energy on this one. He's made better albums, way better albums. Emails I Can't Send by Sabrina Carpenter. Her newer album is a bit better. This one, the big song off of it was Nonsense. That song sucked. A Great Chaos by Ken Carson. Come on, like Ken Carson is one of the worst opium artists. I don't understand why people like him more than Destroy Lonely or even Cardi himself. Like, just go listen to those people. We have Gunna. He's just boring. I go to sleep. This one I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. I can't speak Spanish. This one was a mess. Didn't like it. And then we've got Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. There's my hot take. I said it. I don't like this album. I never did. Now we're moving into the 4 out of 10s. We have Ella Langley. Spotify keeps recommending every single new release from her to me. Please stop doing that. I don't like. They're not good. Tomorrow X Together. They are one of my least favorite charting K-pop bands. I think they are extremely artificial. Trap Soul by Bryson Tiller. Just listen to the guy right above him, which is Drake. Views is one of his most boring albums, and just a heads up, most of the Drake albums are pretty low because none of his best ones are in the top 100, which is disappointing. Reputation is Taylor Swift's worst album. Beautifully Broken by Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll has kind of been on a roll. Sorry for that, but he's been on a roll in the mainstream. He's gotten a lot of success, a lot of features. I don't know why. Like what? The greatest hits by Creed. There's gonna be a bunch of greatest hits albums. I just rank them as I would anything else. I don't understand Creed. I don't know why they used to be popular. I don't know why they're still popular. I don't get it. AM is Arctic Monkeys' worst album. Then Eternal Take Two is Lil Uzi's. Well, no, it's far from their worst album, but it's a big step down from the first Eternal Take, and we're already into the neutral ones. There's barely anything bad. I like music. I like pop music. Most of the stuff here appeals to me, but not Eminem. This death of Slim Shady. I am completely neutral on. I have no problem with it existing, but I am never ever going to return to it. One thing at a time is Bloated. It has some good songs, but most songs suck. For All the Dogs, I like Drake's rap side. I'm fine with him putting out more rap records. Get rid of the R&B stuff though. Ultimate Christmas by Bing Crosby. Yeah, there's going to be Christmas stuff here. Not a lot because it's still November. There should be none, but Yeah, Bing Crosby kind of puts me to sleep. This one's for you by Luke Combs, one of his worst albums. Secret of Us by Gracie Abrams. Just listen to Taylor Swift. Genesis by Peso Pluma. He's got a lot of good songs in that, but there's a lot of boring stuff too. Sabrina Carpenter, she can be catchy sometimes. There's some decent stuff, but overall it's just really weak performances, songwriting all around not the greatest. What's next? F1 Trillion by Post Malone. He dropped like a deluxe or reissue. I don't remember what it was the same day the original dropped, and that one was so good. It was great. Post Malone has so many good country songs, but none of them were on the original, which is wild. Taylor Swift's Lover. Some of the Swifties might be surprised how low this one is. I've never really been a fan of it. Twister's album, I'm not actually that sure what Twisters is. I kind of forgot. I think it's a movie. It wasn't that the soundtrack wasn't that good. Stick Caesar, I know Khan. Yeah, he's a charismatic performer. I think he's cool, but the actual music isn't all that. Leather by Cody Johnson. I really like the singles off of this. He makes some really heartwarming ballads, but the other stuff trash. He just kind of padded out the album was mid. Richie Rich by Real Boston Richie. I have no idea who this guy is. I listened to this album earlier today. I completely forgot who he sounds like. I'll Like You by Illit. I don't know why they keep charting, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't mind. But I'm not returning to it. And then Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. It has some really nice pop punk energy now and then, but then the rest is not for me. I think we're out of. Nope, one more Last Lap by Rod Wave, which sounds exactly like every single other album he's put out. Now we're into the 6 out of 10s. And now here's another hot take. Mixtape Pluto by Future. I was fine with it. I like trap music. It's easy to digest. I had a fun time with it. The best of Nickelback, it's inoffensive. No no strong feelings towards it. Am I okay by Megan Maroney? I'm fine with her sticking around. It's just I haven't really heard anything outstanding from her so far. Same thing with Junior H. He delivers some cool stuff now and then, but pretty forgettable. Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. I'm not sure if people even remember this album exists. Just go back to her earlier stuff. Here's a better Peso Pluma album than the one I mentioned before. It's just a bit more consistent across the board. Take Care by Drake. Once again, I don't really understand his R&B side. I don't see where the appeal is there. Bad Bunny, he made so many bangers off of this album, but it is a really bloated album, so the mid stuff kind of brings it down. Megan Thee Stallion, she's made harder going albums, but this one is pretty good too. And then Don Toliver, I'm really glad that I enjoy Hearthstone Psycho. I used to think he was just a feature artist, but no, he can make some good albums too. Glorilla, I've always been a fan of Glorilla from the moment I heard that collab with Cardi B, but this is probably my least favorite project from her so far. Chapel Roan, she's a bit too energetic for me. I don't know. I can't really listen to it. It's a bit much for me, but it's okay. And then I don't know how to say that name, but it was good. It was a bit of a pleasant surprise for me. They sound. I don't know if it's one person or group. I did no research before doing this video, but whoever that is, they sound quite good compared to many of their peers in similar styles who are also charting pretty damn high. Taylor Swift 1989, Taylor's version, just listen to the original. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas. Yeah, it sounds good. It's produced well, whatever. But you are never going to catch me listening to this. Lana Del Rey, Born to Die, cool. And then Red, Taylor's version. It's pretty inconsistent, but there are some really great tracks on it. And we're into the 7 out of 10s. These are the really solid albums. These are the ones I would recommend And I really do think that all of these albums deserve to be here. Starting off with Michael Bublé, he's the Christmas guy, and he's pretty good at Christmas music. Morgan Wallen, uh, very inconsistent, but some fantastic songs on there, so I really like it as a whole. Teddy Swims, uh, he's just a Lose Control guy, but Lose Control is a good song. So Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? It's I feel a little bit sketchy listening to it, but overall, I guess I do like it. Goodbye and Good Riddance. I used to love that. Like just a few years ago, I'm still pretty young, but yeah, I still like it now. I kind of have a soft spot for it. What can I say? Ed Sheeran, I've always been a fan of Ed Sheeran, so yeah, a compilation album of all of his biggest songs, I don't mind at all. Brat by Charlie XCX, I'm not Fantano, but it's still a good album. Starboy by The Weeknd is one of his most inconsistent albums. That's why it's only down here at a 7 out of 10. Shabuzi, he is he's at 18 weeks at number one. I don't actually remember if he's about to go number for that 19th week. I really hope he does because he kind of deserves it. He's a cool guy. Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. It's never been my favorite, but I do really respect how well everything is done on this album, and I do think it deserves all of the hits it has gotten. Zach Top, I this was my first time listening to him. Preparing for this video, I listened to this album. Pleasant surprise. I really liked it. And then Folklore by Taylor Swift, a little inconsistent, but it has some really spectacular tracks on it. And then Creedence Clearwater Revival, they are huge. They're still huge. They used to be huge. I don't really understand it. That happens for a lot of old people, though. Like, I like them a lot. I just don't see why they're great. Future, I Never Like You, it's just more really easy to digest trap music. It's got some light bangers. I just don't have my brain on while listening to it, and that's why I have no nitpicks around it. That's why it ends up this high. Uh Take Care, Big X, The Plug, seeing how fast this guy was blowing up was a little sketchy at first, but I actually listened to the album. Yeah, you guys are right. This guy does deserve to blow up. Bailey Zimmerman, another guy who just kept getting hit after hit, and every single one of them scored. Like they were all great. So yeah, I'm really hope this guy sticks around. Future Metro Boomin, We Don't Trust You. This is one of my coldest takes. Has to be, yeah, it's good, not great, but it is really good. Queen, on the other hand, this is one of my hottest takes. They are just too theatrical for me. It's too much. Like there's a lot going on in their music. I need to take things a little slower. That's just my style. Like Post Malone, for example, he makes some really easy to listen to hits, complete opposite, but he's a lot of fun. He's always been one of my favorite mainstream artists. Uh, Astro by Travis Scott. It's aged really well. It's still just an awesome trap album. What's next? Chris Stapleton, Traveler. If you're a non-country fan, apparently Chris Stapleton is the guy you go to. But I am a country fan. I just think there's way better than him. He's good. He's not great. And Post Malone, Hollywood's Bleeding. This is one of like the earliest albums that I really fell in love with. Songs like Circles, Sunflower, and yeah, I just can't revisit it without still feeling that same connection. SOS by SZA, just really awesome R&B. Happier Than Ever is my favorite Billie Eilish album. Heroes and Villains, the production is so good, and the features for pretty much all were great. And then Utopia by Travis Scott. It's not the strongest, but it is still really, really good because it is just barely not making it into the 8 out of 10s, but here we are. These are all the great albums. Starting off as Elton John, great compilation album. What can I say? Taylor Swift, Midnights. I've always been a fan of it. It's just, I just think it's really solid all the way down. I'm not sure why people fall asleep listening to it. Control is a little bit better than SOS, and SZA's discography and Evermore is also a bit better than Folklore, and Taylor Swift's discography. Blonde by Frank Ocean. Maybe R&B just isn't really my style, but I do respect this album a lot. American Heartbreak absolutely is my style though. It's just really nice Americana, and so much of it. It's a 2 hour long album. Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. We're about to get to a lot of Tyler because he's just one of the most consistent artists in recent mainstream hip hop. What's next? Yep, right there. We're already back with more Tyler. CHROMAKOPIA, the new one. Yeah, it's the Tyler album. What can I say? And then Kendrick Lamar, damn, it's a little too poppy for Kendrick's discography, but it's still really good. I really don't want to sound like I'm glazing because of the recent beef, but come on, man, it's damn, it's always been great. IGOR is my favorite Tyler album. That shouldn't be a hot take at all. Hozier, he's I used to be a little surprised at how long he's stuck around for, but he really does deserve it. This is awesome. Like, he's such a good singer too. And then The Cure have returned for a new album, and to nobody's surprise, it is great. Tupac greatest hits. He is this. He probably deserves like a 9 out of 10, but just this greatest hits album specifically, it's not his most consistent record, but it's still really, really great. Channel Orange is my favorite Frank Ocean song, or not song, album. It's great. And then Graduation by Kanye West is going to be our final 8 out of 10. As we move into the best of the best, we've got the 9 out of 10s. Here we go. Is starting off as 2 Zach Bryan albums. Okay, first of all, the self-titled Zach Bryan album, it is too inconsistent to be considered a 9 out of 10, at least for me. But this is kind of like a comfort album for me. I've returned to it so much. I really enjoy doing so. So I just have to give it that top tier. But the Great American Bar Scene is everything we've wanted from Zach Bryan. Something that just consistently has highs after highs, so many highlights on this track list, and it's also really consistent. What can I say? And here we are, the hottest take of this video. I do really love the Tortured Poets Department. It's not even worth defending myself, to be honest. Rumours by Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I agree too. It deserves to be here, and we're into the top 3. Unfortunately, we're gonna start off with 2 compilation albums from Eminem and Linkin Park. There's just, these two have such amazing discographies, and then just picking the best out of those crops. What can I say? They're legendary, phenomenal. Like, there's no way around it. And then at the very top, it is going to be Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. Yeah, I don't really have to say anything more, I don't think. Yeah, that's the list.